Hi everyone, how are we all doing? Yes, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. And I would just please like to encourage you to stay to the end. Yeah. So my name is Shion Daniel and I'm the founder of Baka and I would like to introduce you to Grolite and show you how it works. And this journey started in 2017, really, when I finally passed my exams after writing five papers, 17 different times, 17 different attempts. And there was an aha moment that happened to me, and I realized that, oh, I didn't necessarily need to have failed so many times, right? There was a better way to do it, and this is why we're actually here. And since 2021, since we started working on this project to help people become chartered accountants in the easiest way, we've worked with over 2,500 people. And last diet and the one before, we had like two major testimonies, right? Where one of the students that we had been writing SFM for seven times, and eventually the student passed because we helped the student to prepare better. And somebody else got like 85 due to the strategy that we gave the person, and that one strategy was just in our 30 days challenge, 30 days reading challenge, right? And so, there's a lot to gain from Grolite, right? And what I'll be showing you today. And I'd just like to even explain something before we go into how Grolite works. So I realized, I finished graduated in 2015 and I realized that, oh, in my class of over 100, very few people had the first class, right? And the question was, why few people? Why less than 10% out of over 100 people? And you ask yourself, right? They teach us the same thing. So why are these few people getting in first class? So you realize that sometimes these guys they are doing things that we can't probably do. I couldn't do it. I couldn't read every day. I wasn't like that, right? And those other things like their habits, what they do, how they read, how they ask people to explain to them, how they make sure they understand what has been read, how they read from the beginning of the class to the end of to the when time they get to the exam, right? And those are the things many people don't do, especially people like us that finish with like 2-1, 2-2, right? And eventually I realized that when people that finish with 2-1, 2-2 end up writing professional exams, right? Like ICAN, ACCA on the rest, what happens is that many times they fail a lot. And that's what happened to me. I failed a lot because I didn't understand that, oh, preparing for a professional exam like ICAN or ACCA requires you to have the kind of reading habit that a first class student will have. And I realized that late, and that's why I failed so many times because I had to like learn that, and learn that. And now I've come to, based on that understanding and that research we've done, we are coming to show you like the four top mistakes that people make and how to avoid them using grow light and how to make sure that the first time you pass, you write your exam, you actually pass, right? And that's like the guarantee we're giving to you, right? And so I'll just show you how GoLive works. So when you sign in, right, you have a dashboard that shows you everything. So this is 107 days to my exam, and my exam is November 14. There's a countdown. So this keeps everything in check. So it's good to always come in every day and see and ensure that, oh, you know how many days you have to your exam to keep you accountable, right? So then I will show you. So now the first mistake that people face, right, is lack of preparation, right? Procrastinating their reading and reading late. And we decided that, okay, how do we solve this challenge? Because me too, I also had it. There was a time when I first wrote, like the first time, second time, I didn't start reading early. I started reading maybe like a month to the exam, 2 months. But after I failed like twice, I realized that I need to start reading from the first day. So many times I ended up reading like 4 months to the exam, 5 months to the exam, which helped me, right? Especially because people are at different stages of understanding, right? So what we built with our reading goals, right? So set your reading goals, you get reminders and notifications to keep you accountable. So how do you do that? Click on reading plan on your dashboard. When you get to reading plan, so let's set, so now this is Monday, Tuesday, you see all the reading plan. You can set more than one reading plan in a day. So let's set for Tuesday, for instance, right? So let's set for Tuesday. I say, okay, I want to read 30 minutes every day. This is how people typically spend their time: 7 hours reading, 10 hours I'll be sleeping, 10 hours um working, commute to work. We know how busy it can be, honestly, but we recommend at least 30 minutes, right? At least 30 minutes in a day. But the typical recommendation is 2 hours daily, right? 2 hours daily, right? Even if you feel like your work is very busy, start with 30 minutes. If you've not read for a while, start with 30 minutes. So let's be for 30 minutes now. So let's set our time for Tuesday. So let's see, we have, maybe we work in a very busy city and we have to go to work you have to leave home early. So let's say we wake up 4 and read for 30 minutes. That's one. So I now say, okay, when I come back by let's say 8:40, right? So let's say I want to read by 8:40. So I set my time for 8:40, right? And then another 40 minutes. So let's click continue, right? So my reading time sets. I get an email, I get notifications, right? And I'm just kept in the loop of how I should read, right? So let's decide to add another reading time, right? So imagine we're adding another reading time for this Saturday, right? And Saturday's time is let's say because we have a longer day, let's say we want to read, maybe we go to classes in the morning or something, or we are busy in the morning, we want to read late at night, right? So let's say we want to read late at night, we want to read from 10 from 10:40, right? Um let's just 10 from 41. Once we from 10:41, let's even increase the hours from 30 minutes. Let's go now to um let's say we want to read 6 hours, right? 6 hours. Once we read into the morning, then we've already set our time, then you click continue. So what happens is that it saves and you come in, you see start. So when you click start, it shows you a timer, you start reading. So when you start reading, right, then after 6 hours, it records. You can minimize it, right? You can double click it to increase it, right? So after 6 hours, it records as a streak for you. So let's just stop it because we're not just trying to read, we're just showing you how it works. So it records as a streak. You come here to your dashboard, you go to performance, you see a streak. So if I had read fully, I would have seen Saturday read. It shows you total study minutes and total minutes you spend in a week, right? So that's how to solve the first major problem of not reading consistently and adequately, right? So another problem we notice is that people do not have what we call like they don't use the actual right studying strategy, right? So let me give you an example. So let's say we go to our dashboard overview and we want to read AAA now. We want to prepare for AAA, right? Advanced audit, right? So we'll pick two scenarios, right? And here we already have all the chapters. We have 16 chapters and the weights, right? So it's 100, right? So you see that there are four chapters with this 20 marks, one chapter 50 marks, and so. So for instance, we have two students. Student A is reading seven chapters. Student B is reading the same seven chapters. So for student A, he decides to read three over four chapters, which is 20 marks. Then the remaining four, he reads it under year, which is 30 marks. So far he has covered 50% of the syllabus, right? Which is weight of 50, and has read seven chapters. However, it's possible that in this one, the question that is answered him as is asked him in the exam, maybe they asked him the one chapter he didn't read. And some people will say, I didn't read this, I didn't read that, and you know that disappointment. So let's see in this theory now, where he read four chapters. What if those three that I didn't read came out? So what we advise is that for student B, what student B will do is that okay, I have seven chapters to read. What I will do is let me read this four. I know that I read 20 marks, right? I now pick this other one chapter. I read it. That's 35. So I read five chapters, right? And now it goes to this competency four, to competency D. He reads two chapters. That's um 4, 5, 6, 7. That's seven chapters. In total, he has read 60 marks. Can you imagine? So imagine reading 60 marks with just seven chapters. And I can assure you that if you read these seven chapters properly, understand them, can answer any question on it, trust me, you will pass this exam. Honestly, even if it's these seven chapters you could read, you can read, you pass. But one thing is that you don't need to spend time reading so many things. Just focus on these seven, at least for the time you have. When you have more time, you can read other things, right? Which is fine. It's good to finish syllabus, which is what we advise. But we want you to start with the competencies that you can easily focus on and ensure that you finish it, right? So the beauty of this is that we also try and test how ready, and that the third problem is that people do not know how ready they are for the exam. So what we did is that we give you a test. When you click on this test, you take a test for these four chapters, right? And we will now tell you the chapter that you've done well, chapters you need to go and read again. So it's like an app that helps you to prepare adequately. So whatever score you get out of, so imagine that I've read those competency 1, 2, and 4, and out of 60, I got 50, right? If I come to performance here, I'll be seeing 50. right? For this AAA, don't forget that this is AAA, advanced audit. I'll be seeing 50, right? And the 50 will be split between my competence. So let's say I got 20 here, right? I got 20 here and I got 10 here. To be showing, so you will not know the competency you need to go and make sure that you understand everything under it, right? So so now let's take you to the dashboard. So if you go to the dashboard, you see a general exam readiness. So this exam readiness is for all the papers I'm taking. So I'm taking 3 papers. So this exam readiness will show. So now it's showing rusty because I've not read anything, because I've not taken any test. So test is what shows you, is what gives you exam readiness. So once I take the test, it begins to increase whatever score it brings you. And once you click on exam readiness, it shows you the breakdown of your courses, right? So when it shows the breakdown, you know the course you need to, whether, oh, I'm seeing that I've read just maybe 70%, or yeah, 0%. I need to go and do more on SFM. When you click on this, it takes you further to the what's it called? The SFM, and tells you, okay, which competence do I need to read and other things, right? So that's how it works. So one of the last major problem which people face is support, accountability partner, right? How do you get an accountability partner? How do you have somebody that keeps you in check? And that's one problem I also faced. And I thank God I had support of some of my friends, even my dad, that will ask me, how's your exam going? Right? But don't be bothered, even if you don't have that, we'll give you an accountability partner, someone that will guide you. And we also say that for you that are going to be someone that accountability partner, reach out to them, ask them how they are going, how they are preparing for the exam. So I'll show you how it works. Once you click on get paired, right, we'll pair you with somebody on your level, right? Pair you with someone you have been paired with Grace, right? And what you need to do is text Grace, right? Text Grace. So when you text Grace, you see a button on how to reach out to her on WhatsApp. So once you click on it, reach out to her on WhatsApp. You also have an email and other informations there that you can. You also have an email and phone number in this place. I know it's blurry, we blurred it, but you can also reach out to her, right? And you can see the person's reading goals, what the person has said, how the person wants to prepare for the exam, and you check, oh, how is Grace exam readiness? Oh, 0%. You have to text her, why is it 0%? What can you do better? Oh, you've not read, your streak is not showing anything. Why? Is there anything I can do to help you? Do I need to remind you? And all that, right? And one other thing is, we are also going to add, to ensure that you make sure you don't forget your reading time. We'll add um your reading time to a Google Calendar. So that will help you to keep it in check. So we'll announce that future once we launch it, right? So lastly, what I would just say is that um ensure you set your reading goals, because that's very important. Set your reading goals, know how you want to read. Look for the time of the day that is best for you. Are you a morning person? Are you an evening person? Find out, iterate, find out. If you've not read for a long time, start reading 30 minutes, read 40 minutes, then read 1 hour, then read 2 hours. Make sure you always speak to your accountability partner, right? So that you are in line. It's very helpful. Text the person, you have the person's email and phone number, call. Make sure you guys check in on each other at least every day. How you doing? Have you met your goal? And you can always go and check the person's stats and see whether the person has met his goal or not. And again, I will add that ensure that you take the test. You might see questions or chapters that you are not really strong in. Don't be bothered, right? It shows you how to improve. And don't forget, read strategically. Read what? Strategically. Don't forget. Don't just read any chapter. Read the ones that have competencies that you read lower marks. That's the key. Once you read that, because you saw what the example I gave you. So then B just read 7 chapters, but he has read 60 marks. So when you have done that before on an exam, I didn't even answer the compulsory question, but I got 60 something, because what I knew it well. So focus. That's the major strategy. Focus, right? And I hope you all enjoy using Grolite. And if you have any questions, you just see in our description, you see how to reach out to us, whether email or WhatsApp or any other way. You can also drop your comments. We'd like to respond. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy Grolite, and wish you success and all the best. Thank you so much. All right, take care.